Hello, everyone, and welcome to the recap video of the Power Club meeting for August 2025. This might be one of the most important Power Club meetings that I've ever hosted, and I'm very excited to share this recap with you. If you don't know what the Power Club is a chronic pain and CRPS support group that I run every single month where we have an assigned reading or assigned book. This month it was The Mind Body Prescription by John Sarno. And we come together to set goals and move forward together through CRPS or any other type of chronic pain condition you might be suffering from. If you're watching this and you don't know who I am, my name is Chase Teagarden, and a little over 10 years ago, I myself was diagnosed with CRPS. After suffering in pain for 4 years with no answers from doctors, I went my own way and thankfully found my way out of pain. Since then, I have become not only a doctor of physical therapy, but also a therapeutic pain specialist and one of 60 fellows in pain science in the nation at the time of recording of this video. So, if you are looking for help with your chronic pain, whether it's through the Power Club or my 8-week online chronic pain program, or through one-on-one coaching with me, you can find links to all of that in the description down below. In this Power Club meeting, I posit some ideas that are branched off of Sarno's own ideas, and I even show live demonstrations of how emotional repression can lead to the manifestation of pain conditions, including but not limited to CRPS. So I really hope you enjoy this video. I hope that if it challenges your beliefs and your ideas and you feel upset by the video, you continue to watch and watch all the way through to the end. When I first read this book by John Sarno, I was very angry myself at the book. I put it down several times. I think I threw a copy away. But over the years and years of working with hundreds of chronic pain patients, I have come to know it to be more and more true in a lot of ways. So I hope you enjoy this recap. Thank you to everyone in the Power Club. Thank you to everyone who joined this session. And I will see you next month where we will branch off to the book The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. In the Power Club, we've been diving into some heavy books, so I think this is a nice branch off from there, temporarily. Okay, so I will see you at the next Power Club meeting. If you weren't here for this one, that is going to take place September 20th. If you're watching this and you're not in the Power Club and you'd like to join, once again, link in the description down below. Okay, without further ado, here is the August 2025 Power Club meeting. A fun discussion because we have mixed emotions and feelings about the book, clearly. I'm recording now and people will trickle in as we go, but welcome everybody to the August meeting for the Power Club. And this, let me grab the book. Should probably have that next to me. And this meeting is in reference to The Mind Body Prescription by John Sarno, a loved and hated book on many levels. And he posits some interesting ideas that resonate with some and don't with others at certain times. And so I'll be excited to talk about it today. And the reason I selected that book after The Expectation Effect and When the Body Says No is because I felt like it was the perfect crescendo to some intense reads. Now, the people who aren't here that are watching this and are going to prepare for next month, we're taking a bit of a reprieve from some of these harder ideas and leaning into some motivational stories. And that's going to come from this book, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. So this will be our next read. So this will be a shift from our previous focus, okay?
And I
All right.
love that it's in large print. I didn't even know that. I got it and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because this book is so hard to read. It's so small. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Not you yet. What's your name?
Who?
Right there to the
Carrie?
Carrie and
You've met Jen and Pat.
oh Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did the scrapping together.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so I'm very excited to do this, but first let's get an update on how everybody's doing. I go ahead, you go first, Jen. How have you been doing since last month?
I'm doing better. Pretty excited.
Ooh.
I mean, I still have pain every day. I mean, I'm still dealing with PT 2.5 hours twice a week. But I am seeing the last like probably 6 weeks of physically going. But she said once she discharges me, I'll probably still have a couple months to get function back. for my hand and my back. I
Mhm.
mean, my shoulder. But I'm pretty excited to not have to drive there twice a week and do that whole process. And so it's coming up. I see the end of that part. But just believing, I don't know. I've been doing a lot. I clean my stove with my hand, put it in. I mean, I hadn't done that in a year. I mean, I went out last night and did the blower with my right hand. It's a light one, it's a sweeper, but I was doing it. I'm putting force into my hand and I'm not having a major pain flare. Like the last 3 weeks, I've been doing that and I've been one on one with Chase. So we've been dealing with a lot of emotional stuff too. But even with that, I didn't have like the 9-10 pain that I was having 3 weeks ago. So I'm not saying that's not going to, but I'm pretty excited that I'm throwing big stuff at my hand and I'm doing emotional stuff and it's not causing the 9-10. So I'm like, I'm at the height of 8, like, so 6 to 8. But I was living a year at, 7 and 10. So I'm pretty excited to be in the next down level. And I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
And you
That's
mentioned
awesome.
you mentioned before we started recording you were having for the last 3 weeks you haven't had a flare. And I want to ask what have you been doing the last 3 weeks?
Well, I've been doing one-on-one with you.
And what speaking from Sarno's perspective, what have we been working on the last 3 weeks?
I tackled a letter to my son.
Hmm.
He's 33. I have grandkids, and we've had quite the roller coaster relationship. And I wrote a 20-page letter.
Yes.
First, it was 14, and then we were supposed to discuss it, and then we ended up discussing another thing that time. But then I said, I think I need to change and really write things that are really angry. Like, I think I wrote a story and not like so much, oh, you hurt me, but like really getting into it. Like, I think you're a complete, what, just like letting it all out. And so I did, and it was 20 pages. So
Yeah.
I feel like that. I'm not quite sure how I'm still going to handle it, but I feel a lot better. Like I feel like I don't almost care anymore.
So I
Like
want
if
you
he's going to hurt me or do stuff, I just need to roll it off because that's who he is. He's not going to change.
so I
I
want to
have to
point
change how I react.
I want to point out a few things that you just said. You mentioned that we were letting out anger, which is what Sarno mentions in his book. You rewrote the letter because the first letter was a bit nice, more story style.
Hmm.
One of the instructions in writing these letters to let out anger is to use abusive language, so that's important. I also want to point out that you said I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to handle it, and where is your pain?
My hand.
Uh-huh. And then you
Yep.
also mentioned I just need to let it roll off. Roll off of what?
I don't know. My
What?
body.
Well, what do
I
we
mean,
say? Let it roll off of my
arm,
Heart
yeah,
shoulders.
and
shoulders.
soul.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Uh-huh. And where's your pain?
My shoulder. Okay.
Okay, so this language is very important. And I also want to point out the connection of anger and rage that Sarno points out because I think it's very valuable. Um,
Mhm.
think about when we're angry, we say, you get on my nerves,
Mhm.
you're on my last nerve, you're a pain in my. And so it's no wonder that when we feel angry, our pain increases, or that pain is a result that's literally built into our language. Just like
Yeah.
I pointed out from handle it, rolling off my shoulders, etc. And so
Yeah.
good. I love that through writing this letter, you have started to see some reduction in pain. And, we have other letters to write to other people that uh, involve buried levels of anger. And I see it time and time again. And I'll even show you guys a series of recordings in this session to further drive the point home of clients that I work with that upon talking about things that are upsetting have subsequent increases in their pain. And so, that link is very, very clear. Okay. And so moving on, Pat, how have you been doing the last couple months here?
Very good. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Yeah, my
Yay.
pain's gone down from probably a 10 to a 2. So,
Yay.
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, it's so
Amazing.
good.
Amen.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah, I still have flares. They haven't stopped, but I know that they will end because that's what Jay says, flares end. They burn out. So yeah, in those times I just ride it out and I know I'm going to get back to feeling better again. So yeah, I've learned a lot because yeah, there's been a lot of repressed stuff too with me. So I've
Yeah.
learned how to deal with it better and yeah, the mind body connection has really been astounding to me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've noticed patterns, Pat, with when you write these letters and you notice the burning in your feet afterwards, or when there's a something that happens that is particularly upsetting, you link that flare there to that, and a lot of times just noticing that link lets go of the pain. You know, I find that a lot of times when individuals are suffering from pain in their feet, they use phrases like, I need to, stand up for myself or walk away or put my foot down. Or even further, people will say, I feels like I'm walking on eggshells, around this person. That's very telling. And, I've heard, had moments like that, Pat, where you've used some of those phrases. So, I like it. It's been very fun, and then you'll appear in this recording that I'm going to share, Pat, towards the end. So that'll be really cool. It's part of a bigger project that's going to come out in November, and it's just the beginning of it. So it's going to be really interesting. Okay, and I'm going around clockwise on my screen. Okay, just so you guys
Oh.
know. And so Donna, you're next. How have you been doing over the last 2 months or so?
2 months?
It's been
Well,
Oh, she was there last month with
okay.
me.
So last month, yeah, since we last saw you.
yeah, well, written 2 letters, one to my mama, one to my daughter, and I'm on the one to my sister now. And I increased my weights and the leg exercises
Oh yeah.
and the books we're reading, so it's been helping me. And we're doing more time together and trying to get out more because I feel isolated. I'm always inside.
Hmm.
Mm.
But you still have a lot of pain,
Yes.
Sure.
and the crazy weather doesn't help. Does everyone get pain flares on when there's a thunderstorm?
I did with fibromyalgia.
So,
So
Okay.
so if we go back to the expectation effect, one of the things that Donna had said from the beginning, and you too, Thomas, was when there's a thunderstorm, we have pain. And what did we learn from the expectation effect?
Well, she just asked me, it's going to rain, isn't it? And it's not. There's no thunderstorms coming, honey. You're just having a pain flare for something else. You think it's a thunderstorm, but that's the expectation effect, right?
Well, I need to write some more of this letter.
There you go, Donna.
That's what it is.
You know what's interesting about this letter, Donna, and we'll talk about this too in our next session, but you said to me that you had forgiven this person and that you didn't feel like there was something there, but then you said to me just yesterday, this is going to be a long letter.
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Because I started from way back. I don't want to talk about it right now.
It's okay. We don't have to.
No.
I think it's valuable for others who are here or watching, the recap to know that these are hard things to do. It's not easy to write. Even for me now, when I miss my mom, I'll write to her, and that is still hard for me.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't want to talk about my mama right now.
We're not. We're moving on. Okay. So I'm glad to hear that we're increasing our exercise. I'm glad that Thomas had a great birthday out at the Gaylord. That's awesome. An awesome
Yes.
place in Texas. If you guys haven't heard of it, they introduced me. Um, and so yeah, we're good. We're cruising.
We
Okay.
went to eat last night. He took me to get oysters and we danced. They sang me happy birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I got birthday plans for her. We'll see if they come off. I'm not telling her what it is. It's a secret.
Oh,
It's a surprise.
Oh yeah, Donna's
Yeah.
birthday's coming up. That's right.
happy birthday, Donna.
September 2nd.
September 2nd for Donna. So we'll have to wish her happy birthday now and also in our next session out
Yeah.
as a belated one.
But
Okay.
she's coming along slowly. I mean, she's still going through a lot. Again, she feels there's a lot she feels deeply. So, and we talked about that the last session.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
just the way it's going to be.
You know,
Oh,
we speaking and going back to the phrasing that we use, what they did hurt me.
Mhm.
That caused me a lot of pain. I felt it deeply. You cut me deep. All of those are discussions of emotions, but in a physical sense. You know, we talk about a lot, heartbreak, backstab, gut feeling, all of those types of things. Okay. Okay. Last but not least, speaking of my mom, someone who shares her name, Carrie. How have you been the last couple months?
awesome.
I was here
I
last
have
month.
seen Carol too.
Awesome. Go on, Carrie.
I was here last month.
You weren't here
Huh?
last month. There were only two
No,
people
it
here.
was just me and Donna.
Oh,
You were here
well,
in June.
I didn't finish the last book, but I finished this book.
Okay.
Or almost. I got to almost to the end, and I was like, I can't read any more of this. But
Oh,
um, I'm walking without a cane.
wow.
Oh,
Still doing
Awesome.
still doing physical therapy twice a week. Um, what else? Boxes back here.
uh-huh.
I've been
Ooh.
packing up my house
Oh,
because we got our house up for sale. So anything that I've
Oh,
been cleaning going forward has been put in a box. So half of my stuff is now in a box.
awesome. When's the move?
wow.
We don't know yet when
Oh,
our house
until it
sells.
sells. Yeah, that's right. What's the occasion for the move? Is it
Going back to Minnesota.
okay?
Minnesota.
What
Is
part of
that where
Min?
family is?
What's that?
Is that where your family is?
Family and friends. Yes.
Yeah. We
Awesome.
moved there.
My daughter lives up there. So
Yeah, we
I
moved.
want to be closer to her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very cool. Okay, well, I love hearing the updates. I love hearing where everyone's at. It sounds like positives in all directions, challenges still, of course. You
Yeah.
know, this is as we know when we see that road to recovery chart, this is not a linear journey. It's a journey of ups and downs and loops, right? Um,
Is
and so yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the book today. And so why don't we go ahead and start? So, you know, Sarno's written several books. He has the three that I know the most well, and I'm not sure if there was only ones, but he has Healing Back Pain, he has the Mind Body Prescription, and then he has the Divided Mind. And each
Mm.
of them, you know, the first one starts generally with the back. The Mind Body Prescription actually mentions CRPS under the name RSD, and also
Mm.
tackles a bunch of other conditions, including frozen shoulder, tinnitus, um, y-
Nostalgia.
tendinitises, you know, those kinds of things. And then the next one, the divided mind, it jumps into things like whiplash, carpal tunnel syndrome, you know, a whole bunch of other things that are quite interesting. So if you enjoyed this book, or even if you didn't, I would encourage you to dabble with the divided mind. And to be clear, when I first read this book, I personally did not like it, and it was hard for me to get through. I put it down several times. But now I look back and I see that he was right about a lot of things in a lot of different ways. There are still some things I disagree with, but I think that overall it's a net positive read for myself and for all of my clients.
did
And
you throw it against the wall?
I did in the beginning, I did, and that's why I always preface for everyone is you know approach it with an open mind. Okay, and so.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with first and foremost things we connected in our own life in relationship to the book? Does anyone have anything that they dots they connected or realizations they had, whether it was reading the book or working with me in relation to the same ideas?
Me,
Uh-huh.
emotional stress affects our body.
Yes.
It's our central nervous system. Repressed emotions cause physical pain.
Yes.
I don't know what TMS is. I had to look it up.
So he so
Magnetic stim. I don't know how you say that. I
so
said it.
They can say that.
So Sarno's it's his own diagnosis that he termed TMS, tension myositis syndrome. It's just the name he gives to all these conditions. So he would classify back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, um, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, jumper's knee, and CRPS or RSD under tension myositis syndrome. He would say it's all the same thing. And I'm in agreement with that, not only when it comes to those conditions I just mentioned, but also when it comes to things like fibromyalgia, amplified musculoskeletal pain syndrome, pudendal neuralgia, trigeminal neuralgia, a lot of different conditions that we get diagnosed with.
I have
If you are
Go ahead.
extremely sensitive, put others before you, before me.
Hmm.
To very depressed, unable to relax, don't feel well physically, unconscious rage, repressed anger, OCD, and what was this one?
The mind is able to heal the body.
Hmm.
It's
Yes.
just generally, yeah.
I'm just taking notes.
Yeah,
I
great.
listen to an audiobook, but as I do my exercises.
Sure. Okay.
That's all I've done so far.
Those are great connections, Donna. Does that resonate with anyone else or more connections other people have had?
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that he says in many cases, merely acknowledging that a symptom may be emotional is origin enough to stop it, like a headache.
Yes.
Yes.
Like he said, he stopped to think, what is going on with me emotionally? And then it stopped his headache. He couldn't figure out exactly what it was exactly, but just thinking about it, he didn't get his migraine.
Yeah, and so this is an exercise I do with my one-on-one clients. And one of those things there is when the flares begin, we sit down and we write what is anything I could be angry or stressed out about in this moment. And
Right.
writing those things down and identifying those emotions, a lot of times either the headache will set or headache or pain flare, etc., will completely stop or it will not last as long.
Okay.
And I see people nodding, knowing that they've seen that firsthand. And so that's a really fun thing. That's a big reason why I talk about pain being our power, because pain is pointing out something to us that we might need to pay attention to. For myself with my chronic migraines, it was moments when I would feel unappreciated or I would overextend myself and not feel like acknowledgement for it by my own accord. It was nobody else's fault but mine. Um, and when I noticed that pattern, I don't have migraine headaches anymore. So it's quite amazing, to be honest with you.
So that's so awesome.
Do you think like chronic overtraining or pushing yourself to where you do hurt yourself is related to not feeling adequate or inadequacies?
I think our desire to push ourselves to that extent might stem from some feeling of inadequacy, but I wouldn't call, the soreness or the feelings of pain afterwards due to like those emotions necessarily, unless they are lasting longer than expected. Right.
I have a question about, like, he mentions so many different things in here, but like we were talking in the one-on-one about with my son, and in 2020 was a big year of where I developed a lot of different things. And it was just after having almost 4 years not knowing where my son was. I had no relationship with him, and then he reaches out and wants a relationship. We go there, visit, and we have a 5-year-old grandson now, and that he's been raising, and so it's just like when I got back a couple months, then I started developing all these different things. Like I was getting like 4 UTIs, and it's in this book. I mean, I'm like, and then I have high blood pressure they can't figure out. I had, like I had to go and get all these different tests and different things because I had blood in my urine and all this different stuff. And it's like you brought out just on Tuesday.
No.
What do you do with UTI? Something about you like piss or something.
So
pissed off like something at my son, and I was like, what? I mean, it was just like, what? Is that how I got him? I mean, it's like I was so upset over because we never discussed anything. I just went there and we moved forward. So we didn't even discuss how angry I was at him or how hurt, or every Mother's Day was just horrible. I just went on. I want grandson. This is going to be fun. And I repressed all those angry angry emotions to move forward. And so I developed so many different things. I had, got Achilles now issues. I'm still dealing with 5 years later. I had to have surgery. Different things started happening. I had to have surgery and have hernias repaired. I mean, my goodness, 2020 was COVID, but it was also just horrendous. And the connection was so unreal. And we just did that on Tuesday, of how I think that all that came because I repressed that stuff I mean, it's years. I mean, we're talking his whole life. Like I said, I read a 20-page, I went from the beginning. But it's just, I think that right there, and then what happened to me physically, it's just an eye opener of like, it just all came out in my body. And I haven't had very many UTIs since, but when they do happen, they're horrible. And, but it's just the eye opener of how many things happened and what it must be, because I repressed all that. And now I'm dealing with it, getting it out there, writing it down, really like accepting what happened. I'm not sending the letter, but I would be honest and kind of a little brutal sometimes of how I feel about him right now. And the funny thing is what you brought up was like, where's my pain in my fingers, my hands. And I said, my middle finger is probably the best right now. The joints hurt really bad on the other fingers. And you're like, what would you like to do right now with that middle finger? And it was just like, oh my God. It was such an eye opener because it was just like, yeah, I guess I want to flip him off. He's such a jerk. So it was just like, I mean, that's not in me to do that, but yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's get it off. It worked. I laughed.
You did laugh, and you'll make it in the final video I'm making for November. But to give you guys an understanding of what Jen was explaining,
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. It's exciting. So I love seeing you excited about it. In Sarno's book, he talks about recurrent UTIs being a symptom of TMS, tension myositis syndrome. And I was explaining to Jen that during the year of 2020, when she had to go to her son's house, basically just smile and take it that he had kept their grandchild away from them for 5 years and suddenly is just expected to move forward and be like, okay, I have a grandchild. When she came back, that anger started to rear its head. And being someone who just said, by her own admission, it's not really in me to do that, as in flip someone off, her son pissed her off. And I asked her, does that resonate with you, the term pissed me off? And what do we do when we pee? We're pissing. And so I think that language, has a very strong connection to our body's manifestation of things. Additionally, on her hand, the finger that doesn't hurt is this one. And if we think about what we do when we are expressing to someone that we are upset with them, is we flip them off. And the fact that all her other fingers hurt except the middle one is quite symbolic. And she's probably the 10th person that I've seen while I've been working together with a distribution of pain of that nature. And so, like I said, this is called somatization or somaticization of pain. Soma means body. And a lot of times, just like mind, body, psychosomatic, it means that there are feelings in the mind that are being expressed in the body. And this is always true. Okay, so when we're angry, what color does our face turn?
Red.
Red. When we feel nervous about the future, we call it a gut feeling. Yes. When someone really hurts us, or a romantic partner, we call it a heart break or ache. Yep. When someone betrays us, we call it a back
stab.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's literally right in our language. And so the truth is very obvious to us. It is just very hard to accept a lot of times. And we are trapped and indoctrinated by a medical system that tries to separate the two. They try to put body over here and mind over here. That's impossible. We can't do that. They always work together. And so, yeah. Anyone else, things they notice in their own life, connections?
I did. On it, and on page 7, and I like highlighted it, I tabbed it. It just says, you always feel as though you have to prove yourself. You're anxious. You've had panic attacks. Strangely, very few people know about you because you look and act very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes. And you feel in a lot of ways, people that are dealing with CRPS or these TMS conditions, we feel like we're performing in a lot of relationships or wearing a mask in a lot of situations. And revealing our true self to people is very scary, whether we admit it or not. And Sarno is one of the people that I developed the CRPS personality list from. Sarno and Gabor, the one who wrote When the Body Says No, I kind of adapted both of theirs to form my belief of the personality. And that personality is someone who frequently puts others before themselves, even at their own detriment, will repress certain healthy emotions such as anger or rage, amongst other things. Perfectionism is a trait that a lot of CRPSers share. Um, at first, when I started working with people, the first person I ever met with CRPS, I was like, "Oh, that's a coincidence. He's a lot like me. That's weird. I really resonate with him." And then the next 10 people, I said, "Oh, this is kind of a pattern. All of these people are kind of like me." And then the next 100 people, I said, "Oh no, this is the reason. This is why we end up with CRPS." And that is what, eventually, the video that I'll put out in November is going to demonstrate in real time. Um, Pat, what about you? Anything you resonated with?
I could see a connection between why I have repressed rage and how I was raised, because I was raised as a Christian and I'm still a Christian. And with that mentality, you are not to put yourself before others. You're supposed to make others forefront in your dealings or in your mind. You're supposed to uh, be, that word he uses is goodism. You're supposed to be good so that, you know, it's just a matter of the way Christianity works. So I
Yeah.
could see that being part of why I have repressed rage, because I wasn't allowed to let it out. I wasn't allowed to think like that growing up. And then it just carried over as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a pattern I see a lot of times. Individuals who are, devoutly religious, and I'm a Christian person, so I see it frequently where there's this dichotomy between being a good Christian or a good person just in general and being allowed to be angry and express anger. So, a lot of things that I'll hear, and Donna even said this, I've forgiven her. Or you'll see one of my clients, Jeff, in the video I'm going to show you guys. I'm a Christian, born again 2020 or 2022 is what he says. And he said, and I forgive. And so I'm not angry at my sister. And I said, you can forgive, you can be forgiving, and you can also acknowledge that you are upset. You are
Mhm.
angry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not black and white. It's not, forgive and don't be angry. Don't process or acknowledge that. It's practice forgiveness, but
Mhm.
also, forgive yourself for, the feelings that you're feeling as well. Um,
Didn't Christ take a bat to some people?
Take a bat to some
Didn't-
people.
Money changers
Oh, yes.
in the temple.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he showed his anger for sure.
Yeah,
he didn't repress it, did he?
that's true.
Well, he threw the tables over too.
Yeah.
So Christ went to a rage room himself.
We're gonna go to a rage room.
Yeah, and so for those of you that are watching at home, wondering, what I'm referring to, one of the exercises I do with my clients is when they identify the origin of some of this anger, they go visit something called a rage room or a smash room. And there, you'll read a letter that you've written to someone prior, or you'll bring a picture of that individual, and you'll just smash a bunch of stuff. That's something that they let you do. It's a very cool business model. But that's a great way to expel anger in a healthy and safe environment. Um, but yes, Thomas, that's really good that you drew that connection. I think I'll use that, as a reference for other clients too.
And
Have
in
you
my
gone,
class, I
Donna?
teach it's injustice as well. It's not just rage. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's a very
Yeah,
good lesson.
awesome. Yeah,
Donna, have you gone to a rage room?
who?
Donna?
Not yet, but we're going to. We're
Yeah,
going to.
I've gone.
I
I've
haven't
gone
found
and
one
it's
actually
great.
yet.
Really?
Yeah,
You've
Pat.
gone?
Pat went. I think I have a picture of Pat at the Rage Room.
Okay.
Hold on, let
What
me.
was your weapon of choice?
Oh, I had a bat
Where do you live, Pat?
in Canada.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to
Yeah,
find.
Wow.
I'm
We're in
finding.
Ontario.
Texas.
Donna's in Texas.
I'm
I
in
haven't found one
Arizona.
near me. I have some feelers out. I think I found a place, but
Yeah, there's one in Fort Worth for sure. That was the first one I went to.
It's really awesome. I really
We can go to Fort
just
Worth.
got it out.
Yeah, very
Come on.
What
good.
did you do? Did you bring a picture of the person or what did how did
No, I brought my girlfriend and we just kept saying, this is for so and so, or this is for how we're feeling, or yeah.
Or this
Oh,
is this
that's
is
so
for
cool.
what you did to me.
Yep.
and what did he hit the bat with?
What's
Yeah.
that?
match like clocks and stuff, or
Yeah, there was old computers, lots of dishes. That was fun, especially
Oh, wow.
the
All right,
plates I threw against the wall.
I found it. Here we go.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Let's see. Hold on.
That's funny.
I'm in a collection of photos here. I gotta make sure
I'm
I
happy for you, Pat.
sift
Oh,
through.
thank you.
Hold on. I gotta find a good picture. Okay, here's Pat and some of her gear. So there we go. We're armored up.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you got protection there, and then I gotta try to click through some of these photos here. There's some of the debris from smashing. So you see a
Wow.
TV there.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, it's a
Okay.
computer screen.
They're getting excited. So as
That's
you can see,
awesome.
it's a very fun experience, to do that. And I actually one of my younger clients just went there last night. I won't show her because I don't know how mom feels about that, but they posted them smashing stuff on Facebook, so that was really cool. Um, and this type of connection, it's true for all ages, this repressed emotion. I work with kids who are as young as 9 years old, who after the passing of their grandparents or a family pet or something like that, just have a lot of emotion that they're struggling to process. And doing that and working through that is very important. Okay. So
It's probably easier for kids to identify what their rage is about, whereas with adults, I think it's harder. I I still don't know quite exactly what it is, but I know who triggers it for sure
yeah.
and what triggers it. But yeah, identifying exactly what your rage is difficult for an adult.
It is. And if you go,
it down, push my grief down because I was a single parent.
mm,
So I had to like push it down.
Yeah, you have to continue on, right? You don't have time.
well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. What do you do just about every other morning? You throw up.
Yes.
so yes, so there's another thing where, you know what, I just have to swallow it. That's a phrase that we hear a lot. Pushing it down is something we hear a lot. We use our hand to push. If we push things down so far enough, it shows up in our feet. Okay. And to really bring it full circle, and a lot of you in here that are my clients, you've already seen this analogy, but you know, the number one element that is seen in CRPS propaganda, is CRPS advertising, is what? There's earth, water, wind, fire. What is it? If I
Fire.
Fire. So we have nonprofit organizations like Burning Knights. We have the Fight the Flame 5K. We have Ferocious Fighters, which bolsters a flaming character for their logo. All very cool. And then, if I was to Google right now, CRPS hand or foot, what color would that hand or foot be?
Red.
Burning
Red?
limb syndrome,
Orange.
right?
Uh-huh. Burning Limb Syndrome.
Orange
Yes.
or red.
Yep, exactly right. And when our limb is flaring, like I mentioned before, it turns red. We call it a flare, flaming. These are all phrases that we've just adapted as we've talked. And you know what? You can even test run this. You can go to the CRPS groups that I advise leaving, and you can watch or you can click on some of the limb pictures. And you'll see, like, if someone posts their foot or their hand in a flare, the number one comments will be, wow, that looks really pissed off. Your foot looks really angry. Okay. And then to take this even a step further, bring it full circle. Have you guys seen the movie Inside Out?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so Inside Out is a movie where they create, signify the emotions through a variety of characters. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it. But I'm going to show you, the main characters in Inside Out. Okay, so hold on here. Let me pull up a movie poster.
That was a great movie.
It is a great movie, and I think it tells us a lesson that we don't even realize when it comes to CRPS. And so here are the characters of that movie. Okay, we've got I think it was nervousness or anxieties here. We have joy, we have sadness, we have anger, and then these individuals, they are creating these characters to represent emotions in a way that other people can resonate with, right? And so
Right.
if we look at how they depicted anger, what do you notice about this character?
They're red.
Oh,
Red and
He is red.
angry.
He is
On
on
fire.
fire.
On fire, yeah.
And so in certain ways, this message that Sarno is trying to illustrate for us, it's literally right in front of our face.
And it's
It's
from
in
the inside.
it's in all yes, it's in all of the advertising for CRPS. It's in all of the messaging. It's on all of the logos, red and flames. And that is how anger is depicted. And so I don't think that anger is the sole emotion. I think derivatives of those emotions are what stems from this. Shame, guilt, grief, sadness, anger, and rage. I think those are the main emotions that characterize the manifestation of CRPS, and a worry about feeling and expressing those emotions are a big thing. Now, to further drive this home, I'm going to show you a few examples, and I only took maybe 15 minutes last week to grab some examples from a couple clips that I had, and I created this video that I'm about to show you, okay? And so we're going to watch this to further solidify these connections here, okay? And I'll explain the background of a couple of my clients that are in this video. Okay, so here we go. So this is my lovely client, Mary. Can you guys see this okay?
Yep.
And just
Yeah.
to test, can you hear the sound?
I want to help give you that opportunity to.
You hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Mary. This is one of our first sessions, and we're talking about a particular situation where she was betrayed by someone that she knew, and this was right around the time of her diagnosis with CRPS. Okay, and so we were talking about that betrayal, and she hadn't had pain the whole session, but then we started talking about it, and watch what happens.
I want to help give you that opportunity to let this anger out.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's a hot stone. We need to put it down or throw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to really hurt Chase. My legs are like,
Isn't it crazy?
yeah, kind of is. Because I
So-
haven't hurt quite this bad in a couple weeks.
The mother retreats to
Okay, so this is my lovely client, Barbara, and she had a situation with an individual that she had let stay with her for a number of years, and that individual's daughter became kind of like a pseudo granddaughter for Barbara. And Barbara wasn't having pain when we were having this session, but we started talking about this instance that made her feel angry, this instance with this individual. And I'm going to show you what happens as she expresses this. And, Barbara characterizes herself as, it wouldn't be in character for Barbara to flip someone off, as you said, Jen. She characterizes herself as someone who doesn't really get angry. And watch as she kind of explores this in this session.
the bedroom. And I don't think I saw her the rest of the night. I spent the evening with Julia. We were hiding in the closet, when, tornadoes were coming and all that. We had a great time. And in the morning, she walked out of that room looking like she had been beaten by 25 million people and said, my mother told me never to trust anyone who comes between you and your child. I didn't want her to watch that TV and you went over my head and you let her watch that TV or something to that effect. And I just looked at her and I said, Jesus Christ, Eva, there's a fucking hurricane coming.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I can't deal with your little crap right now. Get out of my house now. I've had enough of you. And she just looked at, I said, get out of my house. Get out now. I don't want to see you or hear you anymore. So she gathered her things, and poor Julia standing there not knowing what the hell just happened. But I threw her out.
Yeah.
So I can get angry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she pushed me to the point of reacting that way.
Are you hurting?
Brutally. The knife
Why?
went in, but it didn't get twisted because I'm telling you about her.
Exactly. Exactly, Barbara.
This is so much fun, Chase.
Okay.
This is Melody and her daughter Macy, and they're wearing some really awesome stylish shirts, as you can see. Um, in this video, Macy is describing her relationship with her stepfather of sorts. It was her mom's boyfriend of 6 years, and Macy developed pain in her body. I won't tell you where. That'll be surprise reveal here. Right around the time that mom and this stepfather broke up. And now we're talking about him and some facts about him. And remember what I said, language about our pain in our body is very important. So watch what Macy says here.
And how did you refer to this gentleman that you knew for 6 years?
The what? Address. How
What's
did
his
you
name?
cover? Sock.
What?
Sock.
Sock?
Yeah.
Why sock?
I don't know. I just saw Sock around the room and I said, your nickname is Sock.
So for 6 years it's been sock?
Yeah, been Sock ever since then.
Yeah. And are you still gonna see sock or are you gonna miss sock?
Hmm.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Okay. Sock. And where's our pain?
Where's your pain? Where's the pain? Show. Where does it start? The bottom? Show. Oh, the bottom of my foot.
What do you wear on your foot?
A sock.
A sock.
Interesting.
Yeah, avoidance, whether it's subconscious.
This is Cheryl. Cheryl had a situation where she lost a family member, and she found that family member after her husband found him. And when she found him, the entire time we were working together, Cheryl would tell me about an instance when she found him, she found blood, she saw blood. And I was asking Cheryl, where was the blood? Because she talked about it so many times in our sessions, maybe most sessions. And so right now we're going through that, and I'm asking her about that experience. Okay. Okay. So check this out.
Or not. But I think, and one thing when you, and forgive me for asking this straight up, but when you wrote in the letter about seeing Sal give Nick CPR.
I didn't see it. I saw afterwards.
Afterwards. And when you when you came into the room, where was Nick relative to you?
So when you walk into the room, because it's not a huge room, the bed, it's a king size bed. So basically you walk right into the room. So think about a square.
Yeah.
And the door's kind of on the right-hand side over here. And then the bed's just straight in front of you, but Nick slept over on the left side of the bed. And so literally you walk in, there's probably maybe 2 feet before you get to the bed, or 3 maybe. And he's right there.
So you walk in the door. And which side of Nick do you see? Like when you first walk in, I guess.
The right side.
Okay.
His right side.
Nick's right
Oh,
side.
no. The left side.
Okay.
Because he's laying there. Yeah. So it would be, because since he's laying here and I'm walking in, it would be the left side. He's laying on his back. So I don't necessarily know that I feel like I see a side. I see the whole body.
Yeah. So okay, so left side, he's on his back, so left side of Nick. And you had mentioned in your letter that when Sal gave the CPR, there was blood that came out.
Mhm.
Where did you see the blood?
Left side.
What side of your face hurts?
I know, left side.
That scene has been a continual thing that has been brought up, that scene of the blood. And I really truly don't think these things are coincidences.
Yeah.
I don't. With all the people that I've worked with, I just don't.
So Cheryl had that pain on the left side of her face in the exact location where she described seeing that blood. Okay, and she's chased structural solutions for a long time. She's even had procedures and surgeries on that side of her face, but that connection is right there. And I didn't put that in her mouth. She noticed it. This is one of my clients. I'll keep her name anonymous and blur out her face on YouTube, but she said privately I can share this. This client had pain CRPS 6 years ago and again CRPS starting about 2 months ago. And I'm asking her about the connections to repressed emotions in her life potentially, or other things outside of structure that could have led to this CRPS in first her right foot and then her left foot. And this is the connection she made.
Additionally, I want you to kind of brainstorm for yourself. So 6 years ago, we did our other foot, right?
Yeah.
I want you to really think for yourself, because if your nervous system can get amped up, okay, there's a variety of reasons it gets amped up. So you'll notice that people have this stuff happen after a surgery, but sometimes people have it after like no surgery at all, nothing. It just like comes on. Okay, so that's a clear sign that this is not something physical or entirely physical. Do you feel physical pain? Yes. But what I would encourage you to start to ask yourself is what happened 6 years ago and what is happening now?
I know.
Okay, so you're gathering what I'm asking you?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
Emotional trauma?
Yeah, and what is it?
My husband cheated on me. And my dad died.
Okay. Yeah. If you need to cry, you should cry.
Yeah, it's okay. No, yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, I've been married for almost 30 years.
I'm trying to explain.
This is Jeff. Jeff's sister 10 years ago kicked him out of his car sales business, kind of rudely. And this is Jeff making the connection to his anger around his sister and his pain. And watch what happens to his arm.
My situation. On Friday night, the day after we were scheduled last week,
yeah,
my sister came over and she said some things. Long story short, she came over and I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, she caused the episode Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I don't like having anybody to have that kind of power over me. This has to end. This just I had an agonizing night in my right bicep, which I've never had pain in my right bicep in the 5 years of CRPS. I get a pinprick in one tiny part of the bicep. It's very often. But the entire bicep was on fire and ached. And I put ice, I put on cannabis, and I put on oxy, and nothing worked. And finally, Irish whiskey, after hours and hours, you pass out because of the pain. It's unbearable. You know what I mean? But my sister came over and gave me that on Friday afternoon. And I didn't realize this at all, because I'm a born-again Christian, 22. Mm-hmm. And of course, we must forgive others. You know, I'm not going to quote the scriptures, but we have a million of them. I'm sure you do too. So I must forgive others, and God in Christ forgave me. So I truly thought, I'm getting my knot right now. Get my knot right now. what happened was, I guess I have to tell you this, right? Because
What prompted you to write these letters?
And this one is the lovely Pat, one of my most insightful clients. And we are discussing her finishing up writing some letters and some feelings that she noticed afterwards.
So I'm curious.
I think I saw how Matt was getting some relief with, writing all these letters that he's been doing. And I think that really prompted me to start thinking about it. Well, there are people in my life that I need to write a letter to.
Yeah. I think I think sometimes we don't realize just how much we're holding on to. And I think starting to really deeply inquire about that is important. And speaking up for ourselves,
Yes.
even to people who can't respond anymore,
Yeah.
After you wrote the letters, like what and how did you feel? What did you notice?
The feet were bothering me after I wrote the letters.
Yeah. And what does that tell you?
It's emotional. It's just emotional stuff. It's nothing to do with the feet.
And is that empowering, frustrating, both?
No, it's empowering. And I keep saying to myself, I know there's nothing wrong with my feet. I know there's nothing wrong with my feet. And, to finally make that connection, it's been a while, but to make it stick is going to be, a challenge.
So as you can see, I assembled that video in maybe a half an hour. And if I, in the video I'm making for November, I see 43 clients a week. I have almost 2,000 hours of footage with people one-on-one. And this pattern unfailingly shows up in all of my clients. So much so that I will show you my desktop from just this last week. All of these small squares that you see right here are instances of that happening from a single week. And so if you are still doubtful about this pattern, I would encourage you to really recollect and inquire with yourself about what kind of things you might be holding on to that maybe you don't see. I mean, even Jeff, we wrote several letters to several other family members, and only once his sister came over to his house and he got bicep pain he'd never gotten before, did he start to make that connection. So it's hard. These things are subconscious, as Sarno says. They were for me. And I believe there's still more for some of you that we're exploring. I mean, the letter Donna's writing, she posited there was no anger or frustration there, but she then said it's going to be a long letter. And those kinds of realizations and acceptance and admittance and willingness to feel are the very things that are helping me create testimonies with clients, all over the world. Okay. This week alone, I've signed on some clients from Thailand, Scotland, and Brazil. And so this is the human condition. You are not flawed. This is just part of our experience. So yeah, what do you guys think about those videos I showed you?
Yeah.
Eye-opening, surprising?
Yeah, no. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I watch it back, it gives me chills because there was a point in my life when I would have heard something like this and been very angry, ironically angry, about even the idea of it. Are there physical challenges we have to overcome? Yeah, because when we're in pain, we get deconditioned, we avoid activity, and we need to get stronger again. And so
Sarno says that you should avoid activity until you make the connection.
yeah, and so that's where Sarno and I disagree. He even says we shouldn't even have physical therapists.
That's what I was going to ask you about, because I'm like, that must really piss you off.
Well, see, I partially agree with him because I'm in the profession and I watch other physical therapists make it worse for people. Not only from the things that they do, but the things that they say.
Right.
They say things like your back is very unstable. oh, be careful, don't do that, all of these different things. That creates fear. And I see
Right,
that a
right.
lot in my profession. And so from that standpoint, I agree with Sarno. But from
And
the
it
standpoint of,
also,
oh, sorry, go on.
sorry, it also keeps your mind focused on your pain.
Yes, and that's where I agree with Sarno is that the focus on the pain. So you guys are using number ratings for your pain. I would encourage you
Yeah.
to stop.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because so I have to instruct parents of this also. They'll ask their kid all the time, what number are you at today? And that reminds them, oh yeah, I'm in pain. I need to pay attention to that pain. I'm at a 7. It was the same thing for me as I started to get back to activity. Every time I would help with like moving furniture or helping my brother move in somewhere, he'd be like, "Don't, no, it's okay. You've got a bad back." And it was like that message was just getting beat into me. And finally I said, "Hey, it's just a back. It's just a back. You don't need to warn me anymore. I'm fine."
Okay, so I have a question. Oh,
sorry. I guess we use those numbers so other people can understand.
Yeah. And did you hear Krista? I have a need to be seen. I have a need to be understood. I get that. I think we all
Yeah.
have that.
yeah.
And I think giving other people those ratings, especially when our healthcare providers are asking for them, I think that sometimes we have to do that. But what I'm asking you is as much as you can avoid thinking and rating it for yourself,
Okay.
the better.
Oh, okay.
If you
So
need
it's
to do it
okay because my PT has to ask me because she
Yeah.
determines if I'm in a flare, she's not going to give me my full 2 hours of stuff. So she modifies it, and then I'm back the next, couple days because
Sure.
she's backed off just a little bit, and so that's when I have to be kind of real with her. But it's getting less, so I mean, it's great. But you're right. At home, I shouldn't be thinking about my pain levels. You're right.
Yeah, less fear, more function is what I say.
Yeah.
I've had, moms when I was working in the children's hospital, they came in, one girl had like full body pain, and the mom came in and had taken marker and asked the girl every single area on her body that was painful and asked her to rate it. And so this little girl came in with
Oh my
7,
God.
6, 2, 1, 3, 4, all over her entire body. And, I felt for that mom because she's trying to give her daughter the best care and show me how much her daughter is hurting. And the first
Okay.
thing I said is, look, I believe you. I have no doubt she's in this amount of pain. And I want people to know that simply because there's an emotional connection to this doesn't mean the pain that you're experiencing isn't real. It's so real. It was so real I wanted to cut my leg off.
Yeah.
But the reason for it isn't because your body is falling apart. Are there physical changes we have to work on and help with? Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
there's pathways that medicine almost doesn't look at that, Sarno posited, Gabor posited, even the expectation effect talked about the way our mind plays such a role in our pain. And then this book is going to move us from less fear, more function in that same way.
Okay.
Okay. There's a particular passage in here where he talks about walking through the fire. And that really resonated with me when I read it for the first time back in, I think it was 2018, 2017. It reminded me of CRPS in certain ways.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for you guys to read this and learn about others and the things they've been through. Do you guys have any thoughts or questions? Anything else that's popping into your head?
Well, I do. I mean, like he talks about TMS, like all the headaches and back pain and UTI is all like jungled into this term TMS, but that CRPS, which he said RSD, but is the same, is more, it's just more severe of that.
Yes.
Well, so does that mean that it's because I'm confused. If a kid can get it and they've only had like one or two little small thing, not small, but to them it's big and they get it, but then I'm getting different things throughout my life. When you do that timeline and you're an adult and you see how much, that, and then you finally get it. But I have fibromyalgia and I correlate that of what things are happening up to that point. How did I get that? Big eye opener in this book because it mentions it and that it is a form of TMS and that I'm kind of hopeful that I can heal from that because that has been 20 years of my life of pain and debilitating where I can't work.
Yeah.
So it's been very financially hard. It's been a hard thing to not be able to work out like with my husband. So I'm excited about like the possibility CRPS first, but if fibromyalgia comes with that, I am super excited about that because that means I can have a life again. I'm only 53. I would like to have more life.
I think it's entirely possible, and you're exactly right.
Mine
Fibromyalgia
has
is
gone down, Jen.
What was that?
Yeah, the pain of my fibromyalgia is almost gone, I'd say.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I haven't had as much, I think, since the CRPS has been so bad. I think your brain can only tolerate it. Like you focus on the one that's so
Yeah.
bad that you don't really notice a whole lot of other things that were happening before that. So I mean, but I am getting a little bit of that back. I think that has to do with writing these letters and dealing with stuff. So I think once I get through that and realizing and letting out that anger and hurt, deep hurt that I've had, that I really believe that it's going to go down. It already has.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sarno, he characterizes RSD, is what he was calling it in the book, properly, I think. It is the most extreme, in certain ways, manifestation of TMS, in that we have repressed to such an extent that it's kind of exploded to the surface. The rage has. And that, again, is why we describe it as fire. And we say, my foot is angry. And also why I think it turns red. And so, and a lot of people might doubt that emotion can create a physical symptom like that, but we accept wholeheartedly that most heart attacks happen on a Monday because why?
Oh,
Go to work.
Beginning of the week.
you have to go to work.
You got to go to work. You hate work. It's super stressful. Heart attack. So if stress and emotion can cause a heart attack, why can't it turn our limb red? We also accept in the medical field that, we go back 20 years, every billboard in the country is talking about ulcers, stomach ulcers, gut problems. Where are those billboards now? They've all but disappeared, and they've been replaced by what?
Back pain.
Back pain, spinal problems. You know why they disappeared? Because we as a medical community accepted that gut problems are stress related. Accept it, acknowledge it, symptoms decrease. And that is why, again, people with CRPS talk about gastroparesis. They talk about difficulty sleeping because of the stress. They talk about the emotional weight of things. That is also why ketamine, a mental health drug, is very effective for CRPS. Antidepressants are very effective for pain. All of this stuff is linked and right in front of our face, but it's really hard for us to accept, acknowledge, and see it. And once you do, it is possible, and I truly believe this because I had the pain for 4 years. I do not anymore. And I'm not afraid of it ever again. And so, as you go through this, your body and mind will always try to distract you again. It's the pain's prerogative. That's what Sarno says. Once the pain of CRPS disappears, it might show up somewhere else. We might say, but on the scan, my rotator cuff, but on the scan, my meniscus or the cyst in my knee. What about that? Well, it's doing the same thing. Pain is a distraction from this emotion. And so, yeah, it's Sarno has quite the concepts, quite the ideas. He was reamed by the medical community in a lot of ways. But the more and more you read about it, the more and more you make the connection. You say, oh my gosh, he had a bit of a point. Maybe not all of it was right, but it was a start. And Gabor continued that, and Bessel van der Kolk continued it, and a whole bunch of other people out there have continued it. Rachel Zoffness, who else? Peter Levine, all kinds of people. Then you can go back even further, go back to the 1800s and the early 1900s. You find Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung saying the same types of things. Pain is in a way, a messenger, and that's why I see it as a power. It shows us what we're not willing to see. We just have to learn to listen. So yeah.
So moving forward for you, Chase, do you still, because you're human, you're going to have things come up, you're going to have emotions. So do you right away go, what am I thinking? And then it goes away? Or, do you write letters when something angry? To keep it from coming or going to a different part of your body. I'm not even in the clear yet, but I'm just saying if in the future, is that how you just learn all these skills and keep doing them? Is that how you keep it at bay?
Yeah, and so and I don't necessarily like the term keep it at bay because that implies that there's like a a monster lurking in a cave ready to
That's
strike,
true.
right?
That's true.
But if there's a situation in my life where suddenly I wake up and I have a kink in my neck, my natural instinct as a human to be like, oh my gosh, I slept wrong, my pillow, I need a new pillow. But then if I
Right.
really take a minute, I'll do that. Even teaching people this all the time, I'll do that. I'll be like, oh, this darn pillow, whatever. And then
Mhm.
I'll be like, well, wait a minute. My brother, he really irritated me last week.
Hmm.
He's a pain in the neck. Um,
Oh,
or I'll be like, or if I wake up and I have like a tightness in my piriformis or my sciatic nerve, right? I'll be like, oh man, I did a lot of squats, and maybe the squats had something to do with it. But then I'll inquire a little bit, and I'll be like, you know what? That one person that said that thing to me on Facebook, they're kind of a pain in the ass.
ah,
And I'll realize these connections and understand that. And sometimes that connection is enough to reduce the pain or even resolve it. And
okay.
so these are skills that you learn over time, but it doesn't make you insusceptible to the symptoms. Like if I get a headache or I start to feel one coming on, sometimes I'll get like my aura that I used to get for migraines is my left eye will get blurry. I'll start to ask myself like, okay, what's going on? Am I overexerting myself at work? Am I
Mm,
putting too much pressure on myself to get that video out on the
right.
17th, like I said? Um,
Yeah.
that's where I say, you know what? I need to take a day off. I need to push the video back to the 24th. Next Q&A comes out the 24th for anyone watching this.
Good.
And you make those adjustments. You set boundaries, you stand up for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Mark Manson, he has a book that maybe we'll read eventually. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleeped it.
You told me
Um,
to get. That's
yes,
fine.
and he was in a podcast, the Modern Wisdom podcast. And he said everyone would have a much easier life if they didn't deal with so many a-holes. And I thought it was really funny because I was like, yeah, we would. But sometimes it's not that simple, right? Sometimes that person is our son or our daughter or our sister. Um, and we finding ways to stand up for ourselves while also not, banishing ourselves from seeing our grandkids again is a very hard challenge.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
So, yeah. Okay. What are our goals for the next month? What do we got? Let's go reverse order. Carrie, what are you thinking?
Oh, on the spot.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoa, we didn't have a second to even think about that one.
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, go first.
Okay. Well, the CRPS 5K that is going on through Fight the Flame Foundation. Fight the Flame. Interesting, right? Um, that is taking place September 27th. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm a sponsor, a signature sponsor. The window pane is. And so my goal over the next month is to start to get materials for that ready. Bracelets, apparel, brochures, and then also in the window pane group, I'm going to post a link to where you can sign up for that 5K. You can do it in person, you can do it virtually, you can do a 5K or a 1K. If you decide
Wow,
to show up to Charlotte, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there
that'd
with,
be so cool.
yeah, I'm going to be there with about 30 people, clients and family. And so you're welcome to meet me and come to the window pane booth as well. But that's my goal is to prepare everything for that exciting first window pane meetup. And we're going to do this annually. So if anyone in the book club is watching this recording, don't worry if you can't make it this year. We're going to do it next year and the next year and the next year. So, okay,
That's
that's
cool.
my goal. You ready, Carrie, or should I bounce around?
Come back to me.
Okay, I got you. Who wants to go? Who's ready?
I'll go.
All right, Pat.
All right, Pat.
I've got to get back to work, so I got to prepare all my lessons and all that. So that's what I'll be working on
Okay, for the piano students, right?
for my piano students. Yeah.
When do you
Fantastic.
start back?
The week of the 8th.
Okay, it's
Okay,
coming up.
coming up. You got some time, but
Yep.
coming up.
Yep.
I love it. Great goal. And Jen, how about you? You want to go next?
Whoa, okay. Hmm, I've been listening. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
Shoot.
More scrapbooking.
Yes. It's still I mean, we're scrapbooking tomorrow. I'm pretty excited, but I'm doing my once a week Zoom with my friends to do at least 2 pages, but I'm still not getting into scrapbook. It's just kind of a bummer. And I think it's just because I'm so doing all this, like the book club, it takes a lot for me to read a book in a month. And then all those videos and the modules, I'm almost done with 8. So I'm almost done with the course. So I think that just having that and one-on-one homework, it was way too much.
Sure.
Of my time, I have no time for, or mental time to come in and be creative. So I'm really looking forward to, even though this isn't a rush, like trying to get through the course. I mean, I got to heal. This is healing me, but it's also takes a lot of my mental time. And so I'm anxious. I really think that I'm gearing up to just start scrapbooking and get a lot, because I will have that break. We'll just have our one-on-one and the book club. And then that will, that'll fuel me as I continue. I'm going to be doing PT and things are going to, have more time. So I'm looking forward to that. So I think my goal still is to get creative, get in here, because that's where I get joy. So that's the creativity, but I got to have the mental to do it. So get off the couch, not, sometimes I'm just exhausted, just want to watch a movie and not think about stuff. And so I'm looking forward to that. I think that should be my goal, to get more joy. I'm doing more though. I'm like planning things. So I'm pretty excited.
I'd love for you, speaking of movies, if you're gonna sit down and watch a movie, if you haven't seen the movie Bleed for This, it's a movie about a boxer. I think it was called The Tasmanian Devil or one of those things.
Okay.
But it's a great movie. He gets into an accident and he's told he's never gonna box again. And I think it's really powerful for someone who has dealt with CRPS and been worried about the structure of their body and the resilience of their body. So Bleed for This, that'd be a movie recommendation for everyone.
Okay.
But Jen, I think that's great. And I also want to, for everyone in here and everyone watching, I gave Jen an assignment last week or the week before to text one of her friends and ask, why are you my friend? Speaking to what Carrie said about how a lot of people don't really know the true us, I would be really interested for you guys to text one of your friends and say, hey, why do you put up with me? Is a good way to phrase it. Or why are you my friend? I think it's very eye-opening to see how they reply, the way that they view you, because a lot of times we view ourselves in the worst light. We're our harshest critics. So as an assignment for everyone, optional, text one of your friends this week and ask, why do you put up with me? Why do you keep me around?
I did it, and it was really cool.
Yeah? Were you surprised?
I mean, she did some really cool stuff. It was neat.
I love it.
Yeah.
For the younger people that might be watching this on YouTube, it's a cool exercise if you're on a, first, third, fourth, or fifth date to say, hey, I want you to text one of your close friends, and I'll text one of my close friends and say, what are my good and bad qualities? And that one can sometimes be not as uplifting. So I wouldn't suggest that, but I wouldn't suggest that for a positive motivational exercise. But that's a fun, like, date idea for the younger people that might be watching the Power Club. Okay, Donna or Carrie, either of you can go next. Don't jump out of too quick.
There we go. I know.
Hey, Donna.
Go ahead, Donna.
Okay. So, my goals for this month are to go through the whole module thing again with Thomas.
Oh, whoa. In a month?
Which module?
All of
I
them.
think you've been through all but number 8. You've already been through them, but
Well, we're just gonna go over them again.
yeah.
Okay, you can go. You can go over the lecture portions or some meaningful videos in there. But I wouldn't suggest slamming all of those in a month, because that's about, in that course, that's about 70 hours of material. That's
okay. So just because I did them myself, so I want to do them with him.
Sure. You can watch the lectures, just the lectures.
Yeah. And we're gonna go to the rage room.
Yeah.
And punch some people in the face.
There you go.
Tried to teach you how to do
Thomas
that.
better bundle up.
No, I'm
Keep
not
the hands up.
Thomas.
Okay.
And I've been doing my leg exercises that you gave me, and the stair step and my arm weight things, and what else? And keep reading. I listen to the audio book, so
yeah.
You'll notice the last month's session, The July one has about 400 views. About 100 of those are hers.
Oh, that's cool.
Just
Nice.
like, I don't know. So I'm sure we're going to rewatch these too.
Yeah.
Maybe my weights while I'm watching it is very inspiring to me.
Good. I love that. I love that.
And what else?
I think that's a good start. That's a
Yeah,
that's a lot.
you're ambitious, Donna. I think that's a great start. I think that's fantastic.
And finish this letter I'm writing.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna finish it.
It's
but
okay.
Well, question for Jen. You wrote 20 pages or something. Was that a page a day or a page an hour? I mean, did you just sit down and do
No,
it?
I got off the one-on-one and I didn't even leave the room. I just started writing and I wrote straight 2.5 hours. Like that was 14 pages. And then the following week, I had another week to do it because I was supposed to read it to Chase, but then we got talking about other things for that session. But then that was my realization when I watched some videos in the course that I'm like, I don't think I'm writing this right. I don't think I'm really saying how mad or how hurt he is. I'm just saying you hurt me. You know, like that's not going to do much. So
and another thing. Oh, and another thing. And another thing.
And that's what I did. And then Chase encouraged me to add more.
I don't ever curse that much. Sometimes, but
sometimes you have to.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, I accidentally hit mute.
Yeah. Does that help the cursing?
There we go. Yeah. So
I mean, for me, I think it really did help because it's like I was so angry at some points that I was just like, sometimes I feel like he's just a complete asshole. I mean, there's no other word for it. There's just jerk doesn't really do it. I mean, he's a jerk. You know, that's how I usually would be in my life. Is that he's a jerk, or I might say a little stronger, but I don't like to swear. I'm a Christian and I was raised that way. So, I don't really swear, but every once in a while it comes out. There's certain people that can pull that button on you, like it just happens. And he happened to just, Chase encouraged it. I don't know. But I did it. And
it's your fault, Chase.
He's not a priest. He can do that.
I say it to, I mean, my husband and I feel the same way. We're pretty upset at him for what he's done over the years to us. It's just a roller coaster he puts us through, and we're so tired of it.
Curse words in capital letters.
That's good.
That helps too, but I highlight, and it's just, it helped. But yeah, I just kept writing more things. Oh, I forgot about this whole section, and then I'd be tackling that little thing. So it brings up other things too. But I'm not saying that you have to write 20 pages. It just happened to be because I told the whole story. And then to me, I read it. It took me 20 minutes straight. I had the stopwatch going. I wanted to see how long it really would take because I thought I'd have to read it to Chase. And I'm like, I can't read this all to Chase. But I just kind of like the tidbits.
It helped me, Jen. I couldn't handle the middle part of it right away, so I wrote the end of it to KG. And then I wrote the middle part.
Hey, Donna.
Same thing. You loved your sister. You said you were going to write a little bit. You wrote a bunch because it's trying. Well, no, it's trying to come out.
Hey, Donna. Hey, Donna. I want to point something out. You said I couldn't handle writing it. And where's your pain at?
In my heart.
In your heart, yes. But remember our wrist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a wrist pain.
Okay, so just pointing that out. Yes, Sarno instructs using abusive language. Abusive language. And I know it might feel out of character for some, and that is the exact reason why we need to do it. And we can pray for forgiveness afterwards.
That's right.
Okay. And
I don't use abusive language.
I know you don't, but you have a free
at 3 a.m.
I suggest you do it, Donna. Seriously. If you're going to a rage room, I think you could at least do a few words.
Yep.
We are gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, my father was a sailor. I know abusive language.
There you go. Okay, Carrie. It's Carrie's turn. She's had a lot of time to think. So tell us what's going on, Carrie. What are you gonna do?
Well, I've been listening too, so I it's hard to think and at the same time. But I just want to back up just, about the abusive language. My previous pain doctor had actually said, I wish my office had a swear room that you could go into it and just swear. Like I go in for my procedures and he'd be like, let it rip,
Yeah.
Padded walls.
Yeah.
Huh?
Padded walls.
With padded walls.
Yeah.
For
I don't want to
swearing,
be
not
able to live
for,
with padded
not
walls.
for, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Multi-purpose.
different place, Donna. You
I
do
like,
not want
I
to
like
be there.
that. I like that, Dr. Carey. Okay. And did you come up with a goal? Otherwise I can give you one.
I did. Hopefully I can finish up with physical therapy. Physical therapy has been going on for like a year and a half, so I'm ready to be done with it.
Yeah. I love it.
So hopefully I'm just working on balance things right now because my balance is still off.
Yeah.
But that comes from not walking for the last year.
Sure.
So,
Well, I think that's a great goal, and I would encourage you, Carrie, to also consider, some of the things that I do with the individuals in the call right now and some watching on the recording, is those exercises of potentially writing a letter. It might not be completely obvious at first at who we would want to write a letter to, but just to give you some ideas of who people write to, they write to loved ones who have passed away, people they miss. You don't have to be angry at them, but maybe you miss them. Updating them on your life, the things you've been through, and why you wish they were here. Or writing to someone who you have lost contact with for good or bad reason, or writing to someone who you still hold resentment or frustration towards. So optional assignment over the next month, but I think the physical therapy one is great. Just want to tackle.
I just have to back up about the letter because after I went through my divorce with my ex-husband, I went through therapy for like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in that 7 years, I was asked to write a letter to my ex.
Yeah.
And it took me the full 7 years to write that letter.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until my therapist was moving on to do things with her family, so she wasn't practicing anymore, I finally wrote that letter. So it took me 7 years to sit down and write that letter because I was just so angry with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Is there still more that you need to write?
probably.
There you go. I would encourage you to do it. I know it's hard, but you've taken a step in that direction with writing, and if there's still more there, I would highly, highly encourage you to do it. I think it will surprise you.
I also wrote a letter to my pain.
Oh yeah,
That's
Pat.
awesome.
Good point. That's a good one too. If it's a lot of times some of these letters are scary. Like you said, Carrie, it takes a long time to muster up the courage to do something like that. And so sometimes writing one sentence is a win, but then just as Pat said, sometimes writing a letter to the pain itself about how much it frustrates you, or how you would like it to just get out of here, or use colorful language there. I think that's great. Thank you, Pat. Thank you for reminding me that. Other things that we do, if you're a creative individual, is I have clients who I instruct to draw what their pain represents.
Oh, wow.
Based on this drawing, where do you think her pain is?
Her
Brain.
her brain or head or eye.
In her leg.
In her leg.
Yep.
I want to tell you something about the balance thing.
And so, one second here, Donna. And so, if it's in her leg, why did she draw and paint an image of her head? Do you think that maybe this young 15-year-old girl knows something intuitively about her pain? That maybe it comes from a place that isn't quite so physical?
In your mind.
In your mind. Wow.
It's in her leg, so I don't want to use the term of in our mind or in our head, because that can be really upsetting, right?
Yeah.
But there's a battle going on in the mind about what's happening, and a lot of times it can be really scary. That there's a storm in our head. But I asked her when I saw this picture, I said, what would happen if you opened your mouth and talked about these things that are bothering in your head? What would happen to that boat? And she mentioned that, it would probably go to safety, right? And so talking about these emotions, expressing these emotions, that is a big, big part of the healing process, as a lot of you guys are learning. And I'm going to show you a picture of her now that she's almost out of pain. This is her drawing now.
Was she deeply depressed when she did the first one?
Yep.
It's the blue, shades of blue are interesting.
So
Oh,
you
that's
see
so much
that?
I
better.
can't see it.
The butterfly. I love it.
You see it okay?
Resurrection.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so this is a complete shift in mindset, in outlook, and that is what I see. So if writing is hard for you, if you're watching this and writing is hard for you, another form of great expression is drawing, painting, those kinds of things. So yeah, that I think that, as I'm starting to get out of breath, I think that wraps up this session. I think it's our best one yet again. I say that every time, but it's just so fun to meet with you guys, and I'm really excited for you to pick up this book. And this is part of a 3-book series. Stillness is the Key and Ego is the Enemy are the other 2 books. And so if you like Ryan's style or his messages, he's one of the best Stoic authors of my generation. Then you can pick up those too. These are fun reads. So it'll be a good change of pace from the challenge of
good.
We're gonna take a break from the heavy a little bit and start to shift to the positive stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm thrilled, you guys. I'm excited to see you in the next month. And we'll keep going. Sound good?
Sound good.
Mary,
Yeah.
for what,
The balance you were going to say.
yes, the balance. So do you have a chair or a couch? Because Chase sent me some exercises for my legs and it's helping me with my balance because I have POTS. And
What do I have?
She was asking if you had a chair or a couch because she's thinking of some of the exercises I sent her.
Oh, yeah.
you just hold on to it and you pull one leg out 10 times and the other leg out 10 times. And maybe you could send it to her, Chase.
I could, and Carrie's in physical therapy, so I'm sure she has some of these exercises.
Okay.
That's very thoughtful of you, Donna.
And the other one is, do you have stairs in your house?
No, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
If I had to deal with
I had to scoot up and down.
Next house, no stairs.
No stairs. But I'm doing the stair exercises too.
You're doing great, Donna, and we're all doing great. This has been I love meeting with you guys, and I'm really excited to see you next month. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up.
We are awesome.
We are awesome. That's right.
Yeah.
We're the awesomeness group.
Yes, we are. And those of you that are watching from home that didn't make it this week, we're hoping to see you next week. There's 17 people
Where are
in the
you at? What are you doing today? Good Lord.
There's 17
I
people in the
know.
Power Club, and so the other 12 of you, I'll be excited to see some of you next week, hopefully, or next month, hopefully.
What's the date, Chase?
I think September 20th is the one that
Yes.
I have.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, September 20th.
The Q&A is on the August 24th.
So the Q&A is not live. It's just going to be on YouTube. So just keep an eye out for that.
Okay, on the 24th, that's a Sunday.
Yep. It'll come out on YouTube. So you'll see it on my YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed.
Chase, do you have October's set yet?
Let's see.
Reading of September.
I'm gonna the 18th most likely will be the October one. Yep.
Okay.
That's we'll keep that theme. So thank you guys very much. I've really enjoyed this, and I'll see you. For those of you that are working with me, I'll see you next session, and then for everyone else, I'll see you next month.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Chase. You're awesome.
You too,
Yeah.
Donna.
We love you.
Thanks, Donna. All right, I'll see you guys.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.